Welcome to the Watering Hole. We're sitting down today with the Downright Fools. We were sitting here talking about Uncle Laser. You guys opened up for him last night.
We did.
What was it like opening up for like a comedy show? That's kind of...
It was new, and like any other early set at a restaurant, you know, we slowly watched people funnel in, and then, I mean, it was a big change in dynamic going from us to, you know, a stand-up act, but I mean, I'd do it again.
Yeah.
If he'd have us again.
Yeah, exactly. So, you guys recorded an EP or a full album?
Full album.
What, you guys got a name for it?
Yeah, it's going to be called End of a Chain. That's going to be the title track. It's the last track on the record. And it's kind of the curveball on the record, too. It's the only song that I think isn't directly about a girl that I wrote. We threw a cover on there, too. There's some gospel on there. But, End of a Chain.
What gospel did you throw on there?
We did, we don't know who wrote it. It's public domain, but...
Yeah, it's one of those old, like,
Skaggs
traditional...
and Rice did
Really?
a version that talked about suffering.
What was the name of it?
It's called Talk About
It's called
Suffering.
Talk About Suffering.
It's like one of those old kind of traditional ones that
Tony
everyone
Rice
cut.
and Ricky Skaggs have a real good version of
Really?
it. Better than ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Really?
Threw that on there.
But, yeah, I mean, we never, like, I don't know, we're kind of cynical about EPs and, like, singles and stuff, because we think anymore, like, I don't know, it just seems like people appeal too much to, like, I don't know, the corporate way of doing things.
You write a song and you put it out, and you make as much content as you can for that one song, and then you do it again with one more song, and that's just...
That was the only thing we
good,
disagreed with Uncle Laser last night. He's like, you boys got to get a TikTok. You boys got to get TikTok.
Gotta make content.
And he's like, it's a gimmick. I've been doing gimmicks my whole life, but you got to do it. Okay.
He's honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a realist.
But, yeah.
I mean, you probably missed a good opportunity to make a TikTok with Uncle Laser.
Nah, we're going to go down to Austin.
Yeah, we're going to go down to Austin.
He told us, like, you boys got to come down. I'll get you some names and numbers. But, yeah, in terms of the album, I don't know. Our following is so low that it's, like, probably not even worth it to put out a single or anything. So we're hoping
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, maybe on the next one we'll...
John Moreland never put out a single. Not to say that I'm writing songs like John Moreland, but it can be done.
Yeah.
It'll get where it's supposed to.
It's just October 11th. It's just going to drop the full thing.
Yeah. What's your guys' take on, like, album art? Like, what do you prefer? Do you like some, like, art on there, or do you want, like, just, like, a straight-up picture?
I'm not too partial either way. I think if you can get somebody to draw or paint or collage something that does support the songs, that's super cool. That's kind of what we did. Eden over there took a phenomenal picture of my house. It's getting painted and all kinds of shit right now. And it's just a wreck of a house. It looks terrible. And I was like, this is the record. Like,
Yeah, we're doing a photo shoot and, like, just taking some photos to, like, promote up until we went to Denver. And then he was like, we had this old guitar and he brought this chair over, and then, like, there's, like, the drywall's patched, the whole place needs painted.
Ceiling fans hanging out of the ceiling.
Yeah, it's just hanging on by the wires. And, like, he's like, oh, stop. He's like, we got it. This is it right here. And then, like, the sun was coming in too much, so I had to go take a sheet of drywall and, like, press it up against the window so the sun wouldn't come in too much. And so that's the pick for the album.
Yeah, that's the album art.
Yeah, anytime you see it, just know I'm behind the window, face up against a piece of drywall, blocking out the sun. Yeah, sweating.
We talked about a lot, just like album art that we see, just going through Spotify or Apple Music, just like whether we like it or not. Because sometimes it's like a little too much, but sometimes we like kind of like a light art that goes with like the album or stuff like that. Or then sometimes like a good classic like just band picture. Like, is it fine?
It doesn't really matter. It's the same. Like we ran into the
same. It supports the album.
Yeah, we ran into the same thing with like band names and stuff, where it's like it doesn't really matter what it is, you know. Like if it's a good picture, if it's a bad painting, like regardless, the songs are gonna be the same. So, you know, regardless of if we think of a cool name or whatever, it is what it is. It can be whatever it is.
I feel that because we kind of went down that same road with the podcast name and like artwork and stuff. Like we've changed everything a couple times, and at the end of the day, we're kind of like, you know, the content's going to be the same.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about it was like kind of keep the same, you know, aesthetic. Like if you lean more towards like neutral tones and stuff. That was something someone complimented us on that. They're like, you guys just seem to have like a look, and like all the pictures kind of feel the same, and so that's the only thing I would say about it is just try to keep it all consistent. That's the only thing we've done.
That's all we've done.
Outside of that, it's kind of all up in the air.
Yeah. I kind of, like you said, feel that. Like, I feel like we're consistent with our content, but like the names and then the logo is changed three times, I think, and then our names changed 3 times.
Yeah.
We're on our third.
I mean, they never really changed, but it just kind of morphed into something a little bit different each time.
Exactly.
It grows with you. It's something that grows with you, you know. And I'm sure our look's gonna change and our image.
Our songs are gonna change.
Yeah, but it grows with you. It's part of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, say between now and the time your album comes out 11th of October?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll make sure to have this out by the 11th of October. So say something happens between now and then. We become extremely famous. You can't get a hold of us anymore because we're too busy. But we have a lot of eyes on our channel, right?
Yeah.
1 million people are going to watch this. What do you want to say to those people about your music?
I mean,
take this one?
you're opening up a box, a Pandora's box, because this is like
it's kind of like cream soda if you think about it.
No, you thought the cream soda was in depth. This is like the big explosive area of conversation that we like always run back to all the time, because we're of the thought process of you have to write a good song, you know, like you can put a good drum beat or a good guitar solo or a killer bass line on any song, but if it's not written well and it can't sit alone with like you and an acoustic guitar, it's just not a good song. And so that's what we try to that's the concrete for what we do.
Yeah.
Is like you have to write good songs, you know, and I hope that is apparent.
Not hits.
Yeah.
Songs.
If you try to write hits, then what's a hit today is not going to be a hit 6 years from now. Maybe even
Try
next
to
year.
write something timeless.
Yeah.
If I had to give any advice to anybody.
Yeah. And so I hope that's apparent when people listen to it, that it's like there's a lot that goes into the writing, and that's the important part of all of it.
Yeah.
I have some guitar solos on there, but I mean, he can mute all of them, and I'd still be happy to put out the album.
Yeah.
You know, I think the songs are written well, and I think they're going to keep getting better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's only said that to me 3 times since I've known him.
He's already got a big head. He's a 7 5/8. You know, it's gonna get bigger. I don't want him to go up to an 8 1/4. Can't buy hats anymore. I can only compliment him once in a blue moon. But yeah, like I guess that's it. It's just we try to focus on like
be honest.
Yeah, and be honest. We write about stuff we know. There's plenty of people, especially around here. Like the scene used to be like songwriter stuff, like Bob Childers and stuff. They used to like Tom Skinner. It used to be like a songwriting based scene, and then it seemed like Boland and Ragweed. Like I'm a huge fan of Boland and Ragweed, but like after them, everyone wanted to start writing hits, you know, and being like Co-Wetzel. Everyone wanted to be like Co-Wetzel and Reed Southall and everything, and it's not. I mean, I like a lot of.
We listen to it all still.
Yeah, but like
just have no interest in playing it.
Yeah, they're rock stars. They wanted to be rock stars, and they're rock stars, you know. But like for us, it's more important to write a good song, and we like it. And so, if someone else likes it, that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know, I'll still be playing at Bad Brad's every Thursday night if this doesn't take off. It's just important that we do it.
It's more about you guys' enjoyment for the music rather than what happens because of it.
I think and I don't, you know, try to give overarching advice to people, but I think that should be the overarching mindset if you're like a musician.
Make something you're proud of first.
If you're supposed to make stuff you like, and if you like it, that's all that needs to happen. And if other people like it, that's just a total added bonus. And if you can make a living off that, you're just living in high cotton then. That's just awesome. But regardless, you should still be writing songs and playing shows and doing whatever, you know. That's the only way I think to have like consistent through the years, real, not, you know, douchebag music.
Yeah.
Not trying to write hits.
It'll still hold some gravity.
Yeah.
10 years from now, I hope.
For sure.
Which I think that can be probably one of the most respectable stances on music is you want to write something and make something that you're proud of and because you have a passion for what you do rather than trying to make a career out of something. You want to actually, which obviously you'll take it if it comes, but you enjoy the music so much and you're so into like that's what you want to make as an artist. So I think that's definitely probably one of the most respectable things as an artist.
It's just the same with any form of art, I think. If you're a painter, like no painter in the history of ever has like been a billionaire. People have made billions off paintings, but
it was never the artist.
Yeah, the artist would make a painting because they liked it. You know, who made the Mona Lisa? You know, whoever did that was not a rich man. You know, who was it, Eden? Da Vinci.
Thanks, Eden.
Yeah, obviously we stick to music, not art, but that Da Vinci wasn't a millionaire, but he was like just liked art. And so he did art, you know, and years later, he's got all these accolades that he never saw, but he had the purest intentions of, I like art, and that's all that it needs to be, you know. If other people like it, awesome, but I like it, that's it. Yeah. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Well, it's the same with podcasts and stuff too. Like, if this is, you know, this doesn't have to be anything more than you two hanging out. And if you guys like that, I'll keep doing the watering hole, you know. That's that's all it needs to be. If this video doesn't get a single view, you know, who cares? You still hung out with your friend.
We know we at least got 5 views in the room. So if it's less
and I know for the sake, I mean, I hope people like it.
Yeah,
we can make a living, but I hope you guys can make a living doing this too, because I know how. I mean, we're both working class people, so working a job sucks. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have day jobs right now, but you know, you're always striving to do your hobby, make a living out of your hobby.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For certain, we will probably be doing this for a long time, even if we're not doing it like as a career, just because we like sitting down and talking to
that's the
people and artists. And
you know, like I said, I don't like to give overarching advice, but I think that's the correct mindset to have, the only correct mindset.
Yeah.
And after this, we're gonna get in the car. We're gonna load all this stuff up, get in the car, and drive an hour. Do 2 more of these, and load everything up, and drive an hour back.
Love it because we've eaten, you know, big piles, you know, out playing shows. Like when you first start playing shows and stuff, like. We played the Shawnee VFW for like our 3rd show, and like we made $30 for gas money, and the only people were in the crowd were
the next band,
which was like
they're all metalheads.
Yeah, old biker metal bands, and like the stage was not any wider than this table, and so we were like shoved between like a big Marshall stack and a drum kit, and we made $30, you know, and no one liked what we were doing. No. So if you don't like writing songs and playing songs, then you're just not going to see that.
Yeah.
You
know? The crazy thing is we're still like 500 subscribers away from even making a dime.
Really?
Yeah. From just the views. We have our sponsorships. Thank you, Bad Brads. Thank you, Vernon.
Well, howdy, folks. Welcome down to Bad Brad's Barbecue. Hey, stop looking at Gus. Stop it. All right, folks, you see here, Jager's trying to throw some cornhole, and he just can't get her done.
I just cannot hit anything today.
I see that, Jager.
Man, you gotta have some Bad Brads. You play that crap when you're hungry.
Vernon always coming in clutch with the barbecue. Oh, yeah, look at that bite, folks. All right, Jager, let's see it. Look at that, right in the hole.
Bad Brads, where you can't help but be good.
Like Jager said, folks, Bad Brad's Barbecue, where it's good to be bad.
God bless Vernon and all of his crazy concoctions.
Yeah.
Yes.
His smoked deviled eggs and whatnot.
Deviled eggs.
You know, I did have those one time. They were good. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Give that man some wood and a smoker, and he'll change your life.
Yeah, if there's 2 things that boy knows, it's meat and wood. You know?
We gotta clip that.
Yeah.
Chat, clip that.
So you guys don't have TikTok. Where can people find you if they want to check out your music, your socials?
Instagram.
Just Instagram. I think Instagram is the like most tangible form of social media. You can do everything on there.
It's easy to just be like, hey, we're playing in the city. I'm out. And no one does, but you can still. You're supposed to do it, so.
We'll play the game.
Yeah.
Keep paying our dues, and
you're probably more likely to see us at Bad Brad's than you are on Instagram, honestly.
Just go get you some food.
Yeah.
And then you can hear some good music.
Oh, yeah. I play up there every Thursday with Dylan for the song swap. And then we're going to go up there again, Dylan, and then we're playing tonight. So that'll be the third night in a row we'll be up there. So.
You seen the big rig?
Mm-hmm.
The boys.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's about it. And then, like you said, we'll be on Spotify.
Yeah, it'll be
everywhere you listen to music.
Wherever folks like to listen to music.
October 11th.
We're going to do run of CDs. We can't afford to do vinyl right now. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be that bad.
Hey, here's a tag for you right here. Get hooked up with our boy over at CH Lonestar. Also another sponsor of the podcast. Yeah. I hear he's got some vinyls in the work where you can get hooked up doing some vinyls.
Might have to.
Get some merch that won't cost $200, and then you're good. Get hooked up with our boy Cody over at CH. He does a lot of good stuff over there.
Yeah, we'd love, and it's like anymore people just buy vinyls as like a commemorative kind of novelty gift too. But there's not, record sales are not so much a thing anymore. So if we can have like a tangible thing that we can make, profit a couple bucks.
On the flip side of that, streaming services are going to give us 2 pennies.
Yeah, that's
fourths.
Yeah.
For every million streams, so it's nice to have something to sell too.
Yeah.
What is your cost on a CD?
I don't know yet.
I know how to burn them, so you can get a stack for like $20, and then you just sit there.
Oh yeah.
Put them in the computer and burn them. And so
are you like putting like a little like the album art on the disc?
Probably eventually,
so.
We haven't. We're big DIYers, we bought.
Don't like to ask for help too often.
We just can't afford to. So we're gonna make our own merch, and we're gonna have to do it all. Like we have all the t-shirt equipment in my garage.
Nice.
Very DIY.
Recording's been the only thing we've outsourced.
We tried, couldn't do it.
I do all the work on the guitars, and we write the songs, and everything is DIY. What you see is what you get.
Nice. We book all our own shows.
Yeah, and so I don't even know why we said all that, other than to brag. Flex on you.
Subtle flex.
We do it all.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to be able to say that I'm making the CDs that you're going to listen to. If you could have made the music, you recorded it yourself, that would have been another step. But But no, seriously, like making your merch and stuff, all that. To be able to say we do literally everything, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I quit my job and have kind of just been doing odd jobs, so we can make that kind of happen. And I've kind of been dragging my feet about some of it, if I'm being honest. But that's what I want to make the merch and do all that, and that'll be the day job.
Yeah.
And we'll play shows on the weekends, and hopefully we can get to the point where at least 2 shows a weekend.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's a stretch right now.
Yeah.
How do you go about this is my last question, I promise. How do you go about
I'm having a good time
booking a your own shows? Is there you go through a list and reach out to people, or
booking, so.
Usually it is. We got friends that play all the same venues, so it's really easy to just get a phone number or grab an email, or I like going to the bar and talking to the owner too. I like making it as personable of a thing as I can. And then that's pretty much it. Reach out, hope that the money's good.
Yeah.
Usually if it's not, we'll still go. Exposure bucks.
We can at least break even on most shows.
Yeah, we can usually break even.
And at least, there's been a couple shows where the check has paid the bar tab and paid for the food. And you just got to network. He's way better at networking than I am. I'm not too keen on just going up and pulling on people's ear. So when we played Gypsy Cafe, we played that the past 2 years, and that's just been I'm kind of off talking to some of my friends, and he's like, "Hey, what's your name? What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And then you just get you start talking shows, and they say, "Oh, I played this bar up in the city. Well, what's the contact for that?" And then you just get in touch with the owner or the booking agent.
Having a good community of songwriters makes that really easy too.
Unless you just blow up and get lucky with anything, whether it's a podcast or music, I feel like networking is the way to get things accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we've been able to stuff that we feel is like an accomplishment. It's been done through networking.
Just asking.
Yeah.
Just trying to do it. Yeah.
It happened last night with Laser. Like, we had a show booked somewhere else that fell through, and then Vernon was like, "Hey, boys, I need someone to open up for Laser." Okay. We didn't think much of it. And then he was like, loved what, we had going on. He loved his voice. He thought Gavin had, like, a real good style going on and everything. And we were both like, it's not about what you know. It's who you know.
Yep. Yeah.
And we know that deviled egg smoking son of a gun, Vernon Wilson.
Vernon has done more for the scene in Stillwater, Oklahoma
He loves it.
than
Well, because, like, you
anyone
can't,
I know.
you don't play shows, no one plays shows on the Strip. You can just play at the Bronx, and that's it.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is, like, you're playing in the corners and oddies, which, I mean, I like doing. I'm not saying I don't like doing that, but, like, the whole idea of, like, living in Stillwater and being, and I don't necessarily consider ourselves, like, red dirt musicians, but being in, like, the red dirt scene is, like, you play on the Strip. You're supposed to play on the Strip. And when you talk to these old geezers that used to play around here, that's all they talk about. And so I feel like we're kind of missing that a little bit, but Vernon's doing a good job of picking up some slack.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're in
making
this
sure
weird,
people are heard.
weird place too, where like people our age don't necessarily want to go watch someone who they don't know who
Yeah.
it is. You
Yeah.
know, they're like, if it's not someone I've seen on TikTok or someone I've listened to, I don't want to go see them.
Which sucks terribly.
Yeah,
Like
Dylan
when you,
Moss had a pretty good Twitter rant about that one time.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. That was
well, it just sucks. Well, like if you're sitting on the stage at the Salty Bronc and there's a $5 cover, you're pretty much just watching people walk in, hear that there's a cover, and then walk back out. Like they're not willing to drop $5, and they don't. I mean, and even if they were, they're probably leaving. They don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But there's still is Tulsa and OKC. There's more going on, but whatever is going on here doesn't seem to be like what it used to.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Yeah. It's good to have these venues like Bad Brad's that are able
Yeah.
to be able to give artists like you guys a stage.
Yeah.
And have songwriter night, and then have like even little festivals and
Yeah.
stuff that he's able to throw together and get some
Yeah.
artists some exposure.
plug that. September 28th,
Yeah.
Zesty Fest.
Yeah.
I don't know who's playing, but be there.
A lot of people that
Yeah.
got a lot of food trucks and
Yeah.
stuff. I was just gonna say it's like, it seems like a lot of people don't realize that it's mutually beneficial to like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like if you're gonna help us and throw us some shows and a meal and a couple bucks, then like I helped build the stage at Bad Brad's because he's helped us out so much. I was stapling the ceiling tiles to the stage, and like taping. He had me tape on the baseboard, but I was taping on the baseboard with a smile on my face because he understands that it's mutually beneficial to help us, and we're happy to help. And we've played for free 100 times, and I wouldn't do it for anyone. Anyone in my life currently, I wouldn't do it for anyone else because no one has been so appreciating of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that about Vernon, though he may conjure up some crazy food ideas from time to time. He was the first person to give us a chance, and we talk about that all the time. Like, we will always be grateful to Vernon for that alone. Just because I feel like there's not a ton. I mean, we have there's other people that do as well, but there's not a ton of people out there willing to
Yeah.
give stuff in the scene a chance like that. So.
Well, just like you go somewhere anymore, and it's like what we were talking about too with the corporate side of things. Like, what's it called? An MPK?
EPK.
EPK. We got to have like a digital resume to play a show. It's like we have people that can vouch for us, so we can put on a good show. But like, you can't book a show until you give this digital resume.
We have an EPK that we update every week, and
Yeah.
I send out to people. Yeah,
We're gonna have to. I
We're
mean,
gonna have to. We don't have anything to put on it right now. Yeah. We gotta get this
we can
record
quote
on.
you guys.
The
On.
I was
water-
gonna
the
say,
Watering
you
Hole
can put
podcast.
the Watering Hole podcast appearance. Yeah, perfect.
That's it. One album, one podcast
Yeah.
appearance.
Say something really nice about us so I can like quote it. On the
Yeah.
The Downright Fools are one of the best
Yeah.
live music acts in the Stillwater scene and Oklahoma right now.
Clip that.
Kings of the scene.
Clip that.
Kings of the scene.
No,
The Downright Fools, more like the upright jewels of the Red Dirt music scene.
That was great.
It was almost Upright Fools.
Yeah. Well, that was like, we jostled around a couple of names until we landed on that because
Really
we were like,
bad at band names.
I kind of like came to the conclusion that like it has to be just kind of, it can't be like too serious. I said it was like tattoos. If you get like a super serious tattoo that like, oh, it's got all this meaning. I got a clock on my arm because time is ticking away, and I got an hourglass because it's the sands. You know, it's like, that's stupid, and that's not going to be cool in like 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the band name. So you just kind of have to get something that's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And so we just landed on the Downright Fools because that's what we are. Yeah. Not too serious.
We come by it honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's anything serious, it's the music. It's sure not the name.
Well, I'm excited to hear the album when it comes out, and I will buy one of your CDs. So we will. I want you to burn one extra special for me, and we'll.
Yeah.
I still rock a CD player in my
Burn with
vehicle.
love.
So.
He's got the little book that he's.
Oh yeah, I'm a big CD guy.
Yeah.
So.
You're
I can
getting
probably
hit,
figure
right?
out cassettes too if you need.
I don't have a cassette player, but
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm kidding.
That's a great idea though. The
You want cassettes?
I do have
That
a
would be
little
pretty
radio,
cool.
but not in my car. But the CD player, I was looking at new vehicles too, and you can't find anything with a CD player.
Well, it's 2024. Yeah.
Well, you know, I know, but I have such an like
You
an
like tangible
extensive book.
copies of things.
Well, it's not even like having that copy. It's like I have some CDs that just aren't out there in the world on the digital platforms yet. So
That's how it was with Six String Sorrow. You guys remember those years?
Yeah.
When you couldn't get Six String Sorrow on streaming?
Yeah.
There was like something with the label. My brother bought it at Walmart and he burned it onto his phone, and then like it deleted all the other music on his phone, and he just had Six String Sorrow for a couple weeks.
what do you need?
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all,
exactly.
That's all we listened to for going to school and coming back. He
From
played
my
that.
daddy's hand.
Well, thank you guys for coming out here and doing this. We appreciate it, and like I said, we're looking forward to checking out that album when it comes out.
Yes, for sure. Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you guys.